Hello everybody, September 28, 2021, and it's a little bit of a drizzly, cloudy Tuesday here in the DC area. Kind of makes for sleepy stuff. I know for me, I slept okay, but I woke up just trying to take in a few things. Went to the store to get one particular thing, wound up getting a couple things, got all the way home to find out that the one particular thing that I got and paid for, apparently I left next to the register. So, a second trip back to the store and just reminding myself how grateful I am to have a vehicle, this vehicle and the vehicle of my car. Two strong hands, eyesight, foot and brake pedal, just all those little things and smooth roads to get there. So instead of looking at it as, shit, I gotta go back, I was like, whatever. So as many of us are doing our work, some more grounded than others, and we're waffling in between that ungroundedness. It's just how the energy is flowing, period. No ifs, ands, and buts. And so my guides were saying, let's not get into all this comparison of what others are going through and what others might be saying. Brace yourself. I've warned you about this. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. You're going to experience this. You could experience that. Well, you know, I'm going to speak from my own experience. So this has been going on for pretty much all my life, but let's just do a couple decades of adult life. So when someone else is experiencing something and you assume that they have more power than you, they have more information than you, or they might be on a different level than you, and you want to get to that level, so you begin to compare yourself to that person. So let's just take basic meditation, yoga meditation, right? And so people would come back out of their little meditations and say, oh, I went to this place, and now I had this euphoric this. And I would sit there and say, I didn't go anywhere. I just was right here. I was right here, fully present of every ache and pain, every breath within my body. And by the time I was working through settling it, the meditation was done. Well, I started to compare myself to other people, thinking, what's wrong with me? Why am I not going up and out? Why am I not having these euphoric feelings? Why am I not getting this? That's because it's really not the way it's supposed to be. And come to find out, a lot of those people were just making up stories just so they could, okay? And also to butter up who might be in charge of the meditation or the group or whatever it is that's happening. Okay, you know, you still, even as an adult, will find people wanting to be teachers' pets. They want to say what the other person thinks that they want to say, therefore they get some brownie points or approval or whatever. So there's always this comparison thing back and forth, and that's what we're bringing ourselves to the realization as we really come into our own. And we come into the spiritual guidance that we're so connected to as our specific guide team is working with all of us and all of the other teams. So come to find out, I was A-okay the entire time. I experienced things differently, and that was all right because it's been my journey on how I designed it to be. So you're hearing a lot of people about doing their shadow work and experiencing a lot of emotional things and so on. It's really because you're going into your emotional body and you're emptying out that emotional body, right? Which empties out the physical vessel as well. So we're emptying things out of stuff that just doesn't serve us anymore. But we can't compare ourselves to what other people are going through. Which brings me to what they were telling me today on the ride home from my second trip to the grocery store. Just to get something I don't even eat. It was for someone else. Go figure. Anyway, let's get back to the subject. Everybody is going to experience things differently in a different depth, okay? You know, just recently, somebody had their wisdom teeth out and they were warned the entire time, oh, you're going to feel this, you're going to feel that, and you better have Jello, and you better have soup, and you better have this, and you better eat what you want a few days before because you won't be able to chew and eat for a long time, and careful of dry socket, and this and that. That person was like, afterwards, like, what the hell are you all talking about? I had 4 impacted wisdom teeth removed and I'm perfectly fine. And they were perfectly fine. Like, even their parent was doting over them. Oh, let's get them that med before they feel the pain. Let's get them this before they do that. And the kid was perfectly fine. He's a grown teenager. It was perfectly fine. So, and then another person may say it was excruciating and so on. So everybody's going to experience things differently. You know, when we are in our transformative time of healing, right? It can ache and be the worst excruciating pain while it's doing the most and the deepest transformation within that pain body. It's sort of like when you have, let's say, a flesh wound. It will itch like a banshee while it's doing its most transformational healing. So everyone's going to experience things a little differently. So I'm going to ask you to be more graceful with yourself and just say, I don't really need to hear how other people are experiencing it because I don't want to have this psyche recall of comparison to what someone else is feeling. So we're going to talk about the shadows and the emotional side and what a lot of people are going through, these emotional recycling, you know, of emotions and stuff, right? They're having releasing, and some will have sincere crying and anger and all kinds of other things. If you're not having that, it could mean that you came in without a lot of it being done, that maybe you have worked those out in your dream state, or you worked a lot of that out as a child, or you worked a lot of that out before your actual soul came in here. So that wasn't ever going to be a level of deterrent for you in this lifetime because you already worked through those. So therefore you're on a different step, a different level of what it is that you're supposed to be recycling, you know, so that you can truly start anew, not a rerun, start anew. The reruns are going to come up and those are supposed to be released so that you can have all new. All right. So trying to see what else they have to say. Okay, so they're saying no matter how it shows itself, physically, mentally, spiritually, etherically, whatever, emotionally, doesn't, wherever it shows itself, just allow it to show itself. Don't force a pity party. Don't compare yourself that your transformational cycling isn't what someone else's is. And yeah, just be graceful with yourself. Stop, drop, sit, connect with that breath, that universal love source. Know that you're connected to all things. Spend as much time, I just don't like that word neutral and neutrality because it's such a thing. The way I described it to someone else, it's like a balance beam, and just be the fulcrum. Just learn how to stand right above the fulcrum so that you're evenly balanced on both. Okay, so be sort of like a seesaw, all right? But you're a one-person seesaw, so you're not going to be all the way on one end and watch one end go up and then jump up in the air really hard to let the other end fall if there's nobody there, right? So just get in and stand on that fulcrum, stand on that thing and just see if you can balance and keep that balance and be graceful with it, okay? You fall off, you go to one side again, you'll find your balance, okay? Because everything that you practice And everything that you put effort into the practicing gets honed in as a skill. It's a skill. So hone that skill. It's the same thing I said about empathic. We all are empathic, some to different degrees. And when you're not honing that, it can come out as anxiety. It can come out as fear because you're not truly blessing and nourishing the nervous system and understanding that you're safe and that anything under this physical hood needs to churn here. Okay? Process there. So it's process and churn, but don't let it churn too much up here. That's that hamster gerbil wheel I always talk about. Do you, be you, honor you. Do you, be you, honor you. Because that's your contract. That's your mission. That is your job. That is what will sustain you in every avenue of every pathway on this earth plane. Yes. It's not the other way around where everything's outside of you. All right? So being the best at doing you and being you and honoring you allows you to be in that place of availability for your other contracts to come and join you, and you join them. So it's a total collaboration. Okay? But practice self-love, self-care, self-nurturing, no comparison, be you, do you, be unique, honor you. That, my friends, is authenticity. That is authenticity. All right? Much love. Till the next video.